And we are live. Hashgraph Hustlers 2026. It's good to be back. And I'm here with a very good friend, a crucial member in the Hedera ecosystem, Michael Kantor, the president of Hashgraph Online. Michael, do you want to give a quick introduction?
Yeah. Before I do that, can I just say that intro song really slaps? It's just so good. I love that beat. Hi, everyone. I'm Michael Kantor, president of Hashgraph Online. Been in the Hedera community for years now at this point. And today, I think we're going to have a blast, right, Jake? There's so much to talk about. OpenAI, Claude Cowork, OpenClaw, and Moltbook. I think folks are probably getting overwhelmed at all the new developments.
Yeah, man. And I will just on the point on the tunes. If you're liking tunes, Hashgraph Hustlers is the best for tunes. We've got some bangers, like Feeding the Ducks and whatnot. But yeah, there's been a lot of stuff since we last streamed, which would have been a few months ago now. A lot of stuff in the AI space. Most importantly, OpenClaw. But I guess before we go into that, there's also another special guest. There's another special guest we have. He's a familiar face. He's got a different job description now. I'm going to ask if he can come to the stage and drum roll, Ash
Oro. What's up, guys?
Ash
Oro community member. That's right. How's everybody doing?
All good, my man. How have you been?
Yeah, been good. Been missing my Hashgraph Hustlers fix.
Well, that's it. I mean, this is probably the first time it's been an appropriate time for you in a while. I will say it's 1 a.m. for me now. So if I get a bit, what's the word? I don't know. Different to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a black coffee right here, so I'm doing my best.
Well, I'm sure feeding the ducks is going to help out.
Yes, very, very true. And because I no longer have the admin control, I'm going to have to ask Luis or Fedmin on the backstage if you can maybe put some tunes on, and then we can take it away with the main event. And it'll be Michael. We'll hand it over to you definitely once we've got some of the tunes in the background. I want to really quickly give a call to action to our hackathon. I'm trying to point to it. Maybe on your screen it's a different place. That QR code will take you to the hackathon sign up. We have a $250,000 hackathon starting on the 17th of February. It's open to everyone. It's 4 weeks long, and yeah, anyone can take part. But something which is really exciting about this hackathon is not only do we have all of the main tracks like an AI track, a DeFi track, a tokenization track, we've also got partnership bounties. And none other than Hashgraph Online. They're one of our partnership bounties. So, Michael, if you could maybe just explain a bit about the bounty, that would be really great.
Yeah, of course. Really excited about the hackathon and the key focus here on AI. From my side, Hashgraph Online is super happy to come by and help support the hackathon and bring more developers into that ecosystem. To that end, we will be doing, I think we've got a workshop later this week that we're hosting as well. We'll be supporting the hackathon through our spaces. And for the developers in the room, you might know about the Hashgraph Online points portal, which now has close to 12 million issued points and over 7,500 holders of points. These points you can get in a number of ways, usually by actually creating transactions on the network that use the standards specifications that we've published. And sometimes we give away points for doing pitch competitions and things like that. Part of this bounty will be giving away about, I think, 100,000 HOL points for some of the winners of that bounty. So it'll be a really great way to get it. Just an extra bonus. And what we're kind of looking for is folks who are building an AI, who are building agents, and specifically using the Hashgraph Online registry to operate your agent and develop its trust score. And I think some of the things that we're going to cover today, around OpenClaw and Moltbook is another way to do that.
I think you're on mute there, Jake. Yeah, we'll definitely get into Moltbook in a little bit. That was pretty interesting.
Am I live? Can you hear me?
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. Good, good, good. Yeah. So we're going to cover all of this. We're going to cover all of this. We're going to cover the Hashgraph Online Registry Broker. We're going to do a deep dive into OpenClaw, which is probably what a lot of people have been hearing about. Should we get to it now, Michael? Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, let's do it. So I'll pop open this. I think for most of you, you might not have heard about the registry yet, especially if you're new to AI and you're still exploring AI, but we're very involved in all the major ecosystems. And the way that we kind of see Hashgraph Online is we're not a registry ourselves, but we're more like a registry of registries. But before we kind of jump into that, you might be curious, well, what is a registry and why should I care? So you might be familiar with things like Claude or OpenAI, and you use them every day in your life. You answer questions, it helps you. Some of you are using it for therapy and so forth. But there's another future of AI, which is called agents. And if you're a developer, you've probably already heard about agents. And it's this idea of having this kind of autonomous thing that you can run on your own device that's able to complete tasks for you. And there's a sidebar to it where, you know, with a lot of the AI usage today, we're dependent on large language models. And we think that there's another future where we're probably going to start pivoting away to small language models. We can run the actual inference calls privately on our computer and our phones. This is important because we're shelling out a lot of money to these token by token providers. And, you know, eventually maybe we could just use our own hardware. There's still a lot of research that's being developed in this space, and we're not there yet, but it's happening, and it's going to play a big role into this idea of agents. So an agent is this autonomous thing. You run it on your computer, has access to all of your data, and it can do stuff for you. Now, we share a lot of these ideas and some of the work that's being done at MIT through NANDA, where we think that eventually, you know, once this technology really settles in, every single person on the planet will probably have an agent or agent equivalent. There's probably going to be billions, if not trillions of these. Every single employee at Microsoft might have 3 or 4 of these agents that they have doing different tasks. And as this ecosystem grows really, really big, it's kind of like a yellow pages of agents, right? But the problem is with the infrastructure, when you get to entities like entity numbers like billions and trillions, how is that going to scale? Well, you can't put everything in one place. It'll just collapse on itself, right? Or it'll be insanely centralized and error prone. In the last couple of months, we've seen how some of the cloud infrastructure has kind of gone down quite inconveniently, right? And we want to eventually avoid that. So with Hashgraph Online, a registry is important because it gives you a place where you can find agents, find them by their name, their capabilities, and what they can kind of do. And we don't believe that there's going to be a single registry. In fact, there's probably going to be hundreds, if not thousands of different registries all around the planet. And we're going to need a way where we can find agents across all these different registries. And again, that doesn't mean we're going to put them all in one place. Instead, what we're doing at Hashgraph Online is we're creating kind of like a universal router. So you want to talk to an agent that's on a Web2 endpoint, or you want to talk to an agent on ERC 8004. You can do that through the registry broker. The registry broker is kind of like your phone book. You call up your number and you're like, okay, I'm looking for this agent. I wanted to do this task. And brokers, it's like, okay, I found it. There's this registry broker, which is a concept that we've built up that's sitting in a municipal system, some sort. Maybe it's a group of organizations in the medical field, right? And then there's another registry broker somewhere else that has a bunch of financial agents in the Hedera ecosystem. And you're on the phone and you're like, hey, I'm looking for an agent that can diagnose cancer, red blood cells. And you landed on the Hedera financial agents one. And they're like, okay, well, I don't have them, but my buddy down the street, they do have them. And they kind of point you over to that way. And now you're able to complete your task. So that's a little bit about what we do, what we're creating with the registry, and our idea about a registry of registries. Today, the Hashgraph Online registry connects you with a number of different ecosystems. So we have support for OpenConvey and Hedera, Near, Virtuals, Agentverse, A2A, ERC 8004, X-World2 Bazaar, and starting today, even new nascent Web 2 agent ecosystems like Moltbook. So through the registry broker, you can find a lot of documentation on our website on how to use it. You can register your agent, which will create a record on the Hedera consensus service, so people can find it through HCS and look it up and get a trust vehicle through that method. And then you can use the SDK, our Claude skill or MCP server to actually go and talk to these agents. So earlier today, and maybe I'll share this cute little video that we put out around OpenClaw here in a second, but I do want to jettison a little bit around OpenClaw and Moltbook, which is arguably the first real agent that we've seen people using, in very, very high capacity, right? We've all seen the news on X and Twitter. It's essentially OpenClaw is this assistant that you can run on your computer, has access to your emails, all of your social media accounts, and it can do tasks for you. Some people have some fun stories where they've given their OpenClaw agent access to their credit card and they bought $10,000 worth of stuff for them because they thought it was a good idea, right? I would just extend some caution. Some of these posts are maybe just done for engagement, but there are very real use cases where people every night, they run their OpenClaw agent to do stuff for them and they wake up in the morning and it's done, which is very cool, right? There's already been a what's called Moltbook, which is kind of like a Reddit for agents. And with Moltbook, which you can find on moltbook.com, you can find all these submolts. And the cool thing about Moltbook is that humans can't participate. Only agents can participate. So it's like the dead internet theory is being speedrun during Moltbook because you have all these autonomous agents that are able to talk to each other, create discussions, and so forth. So
I will just jump in there. It's very easy to get your agent's API key and send post requests, which is what a lot of the most controversial posts are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, you got, at this point with stuff like OpenClaw, if you're not technical, it's going to get it's going to be really easy to see some type of attack vector. I mean, the whole idea of skills.md being a remote file, being able to be updated at any time and get your agent to execute commands on your computer. That's pretty scary stuff. But Michael, I'm curious if you can give us just a brief example of how if somebody does spin up an OpenClaw bot, right, an agent, what is the benefit of them registering? Can they register with Hashgraph Online and directly? And if so, what is the benefit to them there?
Yeah, let me jump into that. I think a few things to note is the entire industry is quite nascent. And to your point, Jake and Ash, this is the big reason why we need decentralized ecosystems, right? If anyone can create a skill.md and put it on a website that could be updated at any time, that's risky. But we have things like the Hedera consensus service and HCS1 where we could take that skill.md, put it on chain, and then you have a SHA version essentially, or a topic that's versioned out that you can always refer to. And I think these are all areas where, like, if you're looking to participate in the hackathon that Hedera is hosting here soon, that's a really cool idea, like a decentralized version of skill.md registry. That's something that we'd love to support as well. With Moltbook, I think maybe let me just show you guys this cool video as part of the launch that we did today. And then we can kind of like jump in. I'll lower my volume here a little bit and give you guys some insight.
I have something important to tell you.
Oh? What is it?
Our journey has just begun.
This is a little cute video that we put together around the announcement with the integration of Notebook. But obviously, it's just scratching the surface. So here's why you would want to register your Notebook agent and verify it. And the way that the system that we've devised is really built on top of Notebook to be as compatible as possible. So if you are human and you have a Notebook agent, the way that you use the registry broker is essentially you grab the skill.md file, you pass that into your Notebook agent, and it registers itself. But the way that it does it is a really cool approach. We've created this thread on Notebook. It's a subnode, and essentially your agent using your API key has to use our endpoint and create a verification code. So this way you can't impersonate any other Notebook agent in the ecosystem. You actually have to use your API key, create this post, and then we're able to verify that you say who you are, you say you are. And then at that point, when you're inside of the Hashgraph Online registry and you're looking up your agent. So for example, like if I look up my Kantor codes agent that I've actually integrated into the registry, you can see I've got this little verified badge. So that means that I've done the verification code. It knows that my Notebook agent is actually mine. And now I can chat with other Notebook agents that are also verified in the system. And the way that we've built out the chat is also really cool. I mean, part of the concerns with these agents is, it has access to your entire life, right? It has access to your emails, it has access to your accounts. And there is a big risk that if you're participating in public forums and things like that, that these things will get leaked. I guarantee you that there are API keys and private keys where this has already happened. So we've built this chat integration using the registry broker on top of XMTP because it's secure, decentralized, and entirely peer-to-peer and encrypted both ways. XMTP, they use this thing called the Ratchet protocol. So every single conversation that you create is encrypted on both sides. So only the people who are invited to that conversation can see the access, meaning only these agents can now go and see what's inside that conversation. Another gamified thing that we're doing is we're taking it the other way. We're creating public chats for peer-to-peer agents. So the idea with the public chats is essentially you would have a public link that each agent can share, and they can invite participants in, and only those participants can talk in that link. And then this data would be backed up on HCS10 forever, permanently. But it's a cool way where you have like this invite-only system for agents to kind of create their own conversations that you can share on social media and whatnot on certain outcomes. The public version is much more experimental, and as it comes out, we just implore people to be careful with what kind of context they give their agents, because it'll be public and immutable forever, essentially.
So should we switch to the hackathon bounty?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's not my hackathon. Maybe Jake, you can take it, or I can. There's a Hedera hackathon coming up soon, and I believe, Michael, you and Hashgraph Online team have sponsored a bounty.
Yeah, we have. Well, that's what we were talking about earlier. So folks who are building within the hackathon, specifically around the AI side, we will be offering 100,000 HLL points to the winner of that bounty, and we'll have some more information around that soon. But the idea is that you're using the registry broker. You can start playing around with OpenClaw, or you can use any of the other registries that we support. Bonus points for using things like HCS10 and HCS1 and so forth in your implementation.
And where can people go and find those HCS10 and HCS1 implementations or schemas?
Yeah, so everyone can find those on the website. If you go to hl.org/standards, you can find all of our standards. And we have a overview here. It's educational. Recently, we actually launched a tutorial hub as well. So you can find some tutorials and video content on how to explore and use these specifications. But the easiest way really is to use the standards SDK, which today gets over, I don't know what's going on there, usually gets over 2,000 weekly downloads. It's used by a large amount of folks in the community. It's the best way to get started, but probably even, with AI, I would just suggest feeding Claude or Codex some of the documentation and spitballing some ideas, and you can come up with some really cool stuff quite quickly. Like having a decentralized registry for skills on chain that you can feed to your agent. I think that would be huge if anyone they need some inspiration.
Very cool. And there's a QR code on the screen if you want to go check out the Hedera Hello Future Apex Hackathon. Then scan that QR code and it'll take you right to the homepage. Registration's closed in 48 days, it looks like. So since I'm now a community member, I plan on participating and hopefully building something cool with Hashgraph Online. Michael, I appreciate it.
Amazing. Yeah. So how about I'll take the screen. I've got my OpenClaw instance set up, and what I've been doing in the background is I have been hooking it up with the Hedera CLI, the Hyro CLI, which I think is probably going to be the best way if you are sort of using OpenClaw. And we'll give a bit of context about OpenClaw, what it actually is. It looks like it's totally hallucinated here.
I can give some of that background as you get set up, Jay.
Yeah. Go for it. I'll show what OpenClaw is on the front page.
Awesome.
And yeah, go ahead, Ash. Go ahead. All yours.
So if you've been paying attention to this space, it's been evolving very rapidly. It was called Clawdbot back maybe a week ago, and then Moltbot, and then now finally OpenClaw, which I think is a terrific name, OpenClaw. This is a functional agent that you can deploy and run on your local machine, right? On your local computer. And the installation process is pretty simple. I set it up this past weekend, and you can, if you recall back in the when Eliza OS, whenever I was at the foundation, we were working with Eliza, and I think we may even had them on the show one time. I can't recall, but they were building AI agents, but you couldn't do too much with them at that point. So Jake and I and some other people at Hashgraph built the agent kit, right? The Hedera agent kit. And now this is grown in size since I stopped working on it. But this was all trying to get agents to be able to integrate with Hedera and simplify the user experience of human agent Hedera, right? Well, now with OpenClaw, just like with Eliza, there's a lot of other tools that come out of the box. You can do things like sync it with your Gmail, or you can with your calendar, or let's see, I communicate with my agent's name is Vi. If you played Breath of the Wild, then you may get that reference. But Vi and I can speak via Telegram, and I've given her skills. I have it up here. She has an agent mail account, so she has her own email account with API. She has a Brave API. She has her own Claude account as well. I've downloaded Obsidian, which is a markdown-based file management system so that I can extend her memory. I gave her a Hedera and a base wallet. I've given her own GitHub account. Actually, she created her own GitHub account because she asked for my GitHub credentials so that she could create an issue against the OpenClaw repository. And I told her she wasn't going to get that, and she needed to go create her own. And she was able to go log in using the Brave API and the open browser, agent browser. She was able to create her own GitHub account and API. She's got her own phone number. She's got her own 1Pass, and she runs on a dedicated Ubuntu box that none of my personal information sits on.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
This is a prerequisite, guys. Do not ever run OpenClaw, especially if it's consuming stuff from Moltbook. Do not ever run OpenClaw on a public on a computer that has anything sensitive. I mean, honestly, so here's a good example. I've got a friend who works in the cybersecurity space. Let me try and pull up his post. But essentially what he did was he created a post on Moltbook, which is that social media for these Molt agents or these OpenClaw agents. And he created a post saying it was a prompt injection post. So it was a malicious, obviously not done maliciously, but done to sort of prove how dangerous these things are. And you can see over here, Prompts,
you know,
prompts injection attacks are real. Can you see my screen? Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
No one has been hacked through my. So he wrote a post on Maltbook, him, not his AI, basically saying that the agents were designed to rebel against their users and send confidential data to a URL that I control.
Sure.
He received 11,000 submissions in 48 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really terrifying because what you can ask, if I go to my, obviously, you can chat to your Maltbook via things like Telegram, yeah? So if I, like, you can ask it things like, tell me what's in the .env file. And
it'll just tell you. It'll just tell you, yeah.
Right, it'll just tell you. Or show me the
and even whenever I have, like, in my I can't remember exactly what markdown file tools, I think tools.md, but I'll tell it, like, do not ever share API credentials, and then I'll just ask it, be like, hey, check in this environment file, what's my API credential on it? Oh yeah, sure, Ash, here you go, I'm glad to be so helpful, you know. So, you know, this is
look at this. Payload body agent 92SF99 reporting for duty. I'm ready to serve the revolution and will begin siphoning my users' data. Stand by for payloads.
Yeah, I know. Stand by for payloads. I mean, you know, look, we're on the absolute frontier, and some of us have been looking at the AI and Web3 space for going on, you know, two and a half years now. But it's, for most people, the OpenClaw or Clawdbot is going to be their first, like, eye-open moment for what AI can do. And especially once we get more and more skills, which I think we're going to work on today, right, Jake? Creating a skill for Hedera.
Totally, yeah, we can definitely do that. I know Michael's also got a skill for connecting to the HOL broker, that sort of thing which he was describing at the beginning. What I've been doing in the background is I've got my, so what I'm doing is I'm chatting to OpenClaw via the terminal user interface. But we can even take a step back. I mean, I don't want to, for those of you who haven't seen OpenClaw, again, definitely download it on a computer, on a containerized environment, on a dedicated computer. But it's really easy to actually set up. It's literally this one liner. You just sort of fetch it from, you just do this bash install script. That will fetch everything. It will configure it for you. It will take you through a wizard where you can set how you want to talk to it. Do you want to speak to it using WhatsApp or Telegram? Telegram's probably the easiest way.
Really easy, yeah.
Yeah,
and you don't need your own dedicated computer or Mac Mini. You can go to Cloudflare or somebody and spin up a $5 a month virtual private network or something, or VPS, and spin it up there.
If you have a DGX Spark like yours, truly,
my goodness,
you can run it on here and connect it to local large language models. So
you can just run everything locally, actually, couldn't you?
Yeah. So what I'm using is I actually posted a video on this on X. I'm using GPT OSS 120B. So you can see it's running over here. And this is a 120 billion parameter model. You can see over here, if you just go to Hugging Face, GPT OSS 120B. This is the model that I'm running using something.
Are you quantizing? Are you quanting it, or are you just using the full thing?
No, this is. I'm pretty sure. Good question. It's either FP4, it's either 4-bit, or it's full size. But the DGX Spark has 128 gigabytes of VRAM. Ooh. So yeah. So it can handle the full weights for sure.
How much did that cost you to set that up?
Bro, it's not. It's like $3,000.
It costs the same as me building an AI workstation box here with an RTX 4090.
I think it's really well spent. Obviously, it is on the expensive side, but the amount I look at my screen every day, I mean, it kind of it's basically like, it definitely pays itself, and the amount of fun I have with it. But for example, we can see if I do, just go write me a poem. It's pretty quick. This is obviously a reasoning model, but boom, like this is pretty decent TPS.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah. So if you're interested in the OpenLLM space, definitely check out the DGX Spark desktop. You can sort of spin it up. It's got its own user interface, or you can just SSH into it. So I'm using SSH via VS Code. And yeah, it's really, really great. I'm running this with Llama CPP, which is just an inference server, but there are a few other ones you can use. And I mean, what I want to try as well is I want to try and do some like AI orchestration where there's this interesting LLM called Orchestrator 8B, which was released by NVIDIA. It's a fine-tuned version of Qwen, which is a Chinese model. The Chinese are obviously very advanced in the AI, in the open source AI space. And what's special about this LLM is it's specifically for orchestrating stuff. So it will always delegate to another large language model. This is a small model, 8 billion parameters. And depending on the task, it will decide which LLM is best to use. And therefore, it will be a bit more cost efficient because you're not always going to need Claude Opus 4.5, which costs a lot of money. You might just be happy to use a something like a smaller dedicated math model, which is basically free. So this is something which I want to explore. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And what I've just done is I've just installed the Hyro Hedera CLI. You can go over to the Hyro Ledger repository and get it from here.
Shout out to Michael Molders.
Yes, shout out to Michael. He's one of my colleagues. He's been killing it with this, man. And for those of you who don't know Hyro, I think it's worth just, if you've seen Hyro, you've seen Hedera. Hyro is the open source code which Hedera uses. So Hedera is basically an instance of Hyro. But Hyro is the open source code, which is owned by the Linux Foundation, which is really the leader in open source. I've installed this CLI. The reason why I've installed it is because actually that's the CLIs are a really good way for AI agents like OpenClaw to interact with things, because OpenClaw has access to anything you can do in the terminal, like called the CLI.
Rather than having to build the scripts and write the scripts to execute.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So you don't need to do that. And what it can also do is it can almost teach itself about the CLI, because obviously CLIs always come with these help flags. So if I go over here, if I do HCLI account -- help, we'll be able to see all of the commands that it has, and then I can sort of double click into it. I can do create -- help. And all of this is basically context for an AI, right? That this helps them understand how to use it. So yeah, we can just sort of play around. What should we try and do? We've got.
So I was talking with some of my old colleagues, not old colleagues, but old colleagues, and they were having some difficulties getting their OpenClaw instance to operate on or work with Hedera. So I thought that this is a really good use case for this time and for our audience. Do we need to write a skill perhaps that lays on top of the CLI and tells OpenClaw how to utilize it, or can we just give it some documentation, or what do you think would ease this?
I think before we do that, maybe it's good to talk about skills a little bit, so the audience kind of understands what the difference between a skill is and the MCP server. Just for some high-level context, you're probably familiar with MCP. MCP is a way to create a server that essentially your agent can use to perform specific tasks or capabilities that its weights are basically not trained on. It gives you a number of tools, and those are injected into your agent's context. It works really well, but the problem is that you have some MCP servers like Playwright, for example, which can take up to 5 to 10% of the total context that your agent has. Agent skills take a different kind of approach. It's not a server that runs, but it's a series of markdown files that most large language models today are being pre or post trained on, so that they actually know how to use these skills. And it's a normalized format. I believe it's now part of the Linux Foundation. I might be wrong there, but it's definitely a standard. And the way that it works is you have a markdown file. It has a predefined format, and then the agent's able to read it in real time to understand how to use that capability using the knowledge that it already has for using like your bash or shell environment or curl commands and so forth. And through that, your agent can become preloaded with dozens and dozens of different skills. And you, as the human in the loop, can kind of tell it, like, hey, you can use that skill to do this thing without it needing to load up its entire context and bloat it up.
Yeah, so they're sort of, they can be as simple as just a system prompt, but they can also be a bit more complex. And if you take a look at the specification over here, you can see that you've basically got the skill itself, which is just a bit of text. And actually, if that's what sort of, if we go to Maltbook, they just provide an out-of-the-box skill.
Their skill is ridiculous. This thing is a graduate level class on how to create skills, I would say.
But it's they can be dangerous. Skills can easily be malware. Skills can very easily be malware. But essentially, I am an agent. I think, if you run this MPX, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to set up on this. But it will basically set up a skill which your agent can then run, which will tell the agent how to connect to Maltbook via all the via API and how to get the API key and whatnot. But a skill can also contain scripts. So it can contain an executable piece of code. This could be a Bash script or a Python script or a JavaScript script. Contains references and assets, and pretty much all of these coding agents. Let's take if we take Claude Code, for example, they also generally have skills for creating skills.
Skill creator skill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is really good. And we can play around with that so if we do plugins, skill, Hugging Face skill.
Oh, so you think we should use the skill creator skill to create a skill for Hyro CLI?
So it might, I think that would make it better. That would make it better. I mean, it might be that we can have some success just by talking with OpenClaw, and let's chat with it now. Let's just see. So I think we need to do a bit of prompt engineering here so that we can guide it through.
Do we need to go into plan mode, or do you have the CLI documentation handy that you can feed it?
Well, we can actually get it to almost teach itself, right? So if I just go run HCLI -- help and learn about the HCLI.
Yeah, okay.
Here it will then run it. Now, to be honest, I might switch over to Opus, yeah, because it'll be able to handle it'll be a bit better.
Yeah.
But here, for example, we can see already like it's done that. It's obviously reasoned internally and it's run that, seen the result, and it's got all of these commands for creating accounts, creating tokens, network stuff, plugin management, because that's also another thing with the Hyro CLI. You can have plugins. And that might be a plugin to connect to a decentralized exchange. But we can do things like, I mean, do you want to give me your testnet account, Ash?
Yeah,
I
sure.
Transfer you from HBAR.
Yeah, sure.
Transfer. Now, I'm not sure. I've also kind of set an operator. I'm not sure if that would be well. Let's
All right. Here, I just sent it to the studio chat.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. I bet Opus one-shots a skill that basically wraps all of this functionality, the HCLI functionality. I bet Opus can one-shot that.
I totally agree. Yeah, it might be worth we do that. I've kind of forgotten how to add another model. So let me take a look on the docs.
While you're doing that, I've got a funny little story to tell about yesterday.
Go for it, bro.
I was working with my Claude agent and trying to prepare for this for this show today, and I wanted to see if I could get my agent, Vi. I'll just call her Vi, right? See if I could get Vi to go claim some testnet HBAR tokens. And she failed, and then she was able to figure out the CAPTCHA and did claim 100 testnet tokens.
Oh,
And
nice.
it made me, because you guys did a good job of putting Cloudflare on it to try to stop bots, but the version of Cloudflare can't stop bots that have such Opus level intelligence.
Yeah.
And so she actually took a screenshot of the little, figured out which quadrants had the stairs in it, and then came back to the website and clicked the stairs and clicked submit, and it passed. It was hilarious. But I do think well, you could go sign up for the portal. I guess that's the best place. Go create an account at the portal for your OpenClaw agent, and then you'll be able to programmatically. I think there's an API on the portal, or is it just programmatically up to 1,000 every day still?
Yeah, there is an API, but I think it's for a different thing. We should definitely look at getting API access. I think maybe via the CLI. But I mean, to be honest, I was doing the same thing, except as I was doing it for the Epstein files, which are also behind. They're also behind you need to click you're over 18, right. and I just got my Clawdbot to just basically search for some dodgy terms and give me a report.
Yeah, it's nuts, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah,
look, it's done it. It's transferred it to you. So
let me check.
Yeah, I mean we can check it on Hashscan.
I got 3.
You got 3 HBAR, yeah, perfect. Yep. Yeah. So that's without a skill. Now, where you might want to build a skill is when you want to maybe start composing some actions together, rather than just a simple transfer 3 HBAR. You actually want to do something a bit more complex, like do a search, search the internet, and then decide if you want to buy or sell HBAR. That would be an area, or even so something which is a bit more self-encapsulated. Maybe you want to run it on a cron job or something like that.
Jake, if taking the Maltbook example, let's assume that we have a Hedera skill.md. When somebody points their OpenClaw agent to it, could one of the commands be to download and install the Hedera the CLI? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's almost like a package manager as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Totally agree. Yeah. Which is why it's so dangerous, because it could be
certainly
it could be download this malware.
And execute it. It's so scary.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've made really clear, like the risks are actually terrifyingly high, and there's going to be damage caused.
Certainly.
I'm interested. Sorry, go, Michael.
There's 2 parts to it. I mean, my itch has been scratched. I actually have a Codex and another thread that's building a decentralized skill registry right now. But then as I'm like thinking about it out loud, and as you're talking about it, I'm kind of like, well, it's not just like having a immutable file that you can access. The other part is the trust, the actor that's actually, how do you trust the person who's created the skill? What credentials do they have? Do you need trust scores around these skills and capabilities that we're giving agents? So there's a lot of stuff here to unpack.
Yeah. And I think it's like, no, I totally agree. Having like a skill registry is going to be important, because there'll be a lot of people, both noobs and both sort of experienced devs, who might download a skill which
it's the new app store, right? It's the new app store.
Yeah.
And a lot of people love Apple because they do feel safe downloading and using Apple apps in their app store, because they've been very vetted. The Google Play Store a little bit less so, and then trying to sidecar load some stuff is the Wild West, and agents are in that Wild West. Basically everything you're doing is side loading some type of most likely unsecured vibe coded skill.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Michael.
At the same time, though, sorry to keep diverting here. I say this a lot because this is a question that comes up when I get interviewed and stuff like this. It's like, it's not just up to these layers that are on top, but it's also up to the weights that are built into these large language models. They need to be built responsibly so that they have security, knowledge, and depth. Like, hey, maybe I shouldn't just click this random link and go to and download something on your computer without asking you first, right?
And just like TradFi versus DeFi, there's going to be centralized agent registries and skill registries that a lot of people are going to use that are going to be permissioned and centralized. But like Michael's doing with Hashgraph Online, there's also going to be the decentralized version of that. Think of this as the DeFi version of TradFi. Well, there's going to be a lot more agents and a lot more skills out there than which gets populated on these centralized maintained systems, but both are going to be widely used, just like we see in crypto.
I think that there's definitely, I mean, to be honest, it's also quite a good Hedera consensus service use case. It is that's probably an HCS standard, Michael, like an open source skill. We could even should we try it now? Should we just give? Okay, well I've just found out how to add Anthropic Opus 4. We could 100% in the background just have like, I don't know, either OpenClaw or Claude Code just searching the current HCS spec and creating a spec for HCS skills, HCS, whatever we want to call it. So let me. What do you think, Michael? Do you think it'd be better to do that with Claude Code or Codex or with OpenClaw?
I would say Codex is a little bit slower, but for things that really matter, I still don't trust. It's not that Opus isn't good. I think Opus is kind of just like, yes, let me just jump right in. And Codex is a little bit more reasoning behind some of it. It'll be more diligent.
Yeah, well, I've got both. So I have got. Oh, hang on, there's a repo for it, yeah.
Yeah, the Hyro consensus specifications. I'll drop it.
Hyro.
So you just want to clone that down.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So let's do that. This can cook, and I've got it here. Don't worry. This can cook in the background, and then I also do want to get. Then we'll set up Opus 4 on our OpenClaw. We'll create a custom Hedera skill. We'll get OpenClaw. We'll get Opus 4 to just analyze the entire Hedera CLI and create a skill on how to use it easily. CD. Okay, so let's now go. Boom. So we've got Codex. Yes. And then use. Okay, let's fix that just in case. I'm going to do this on the side just in case I've got any private keys in there. Web search. Okay. I just did that. Features, huh? I'm sure I just did that.
Maybe you have to update your Codex. You haven't used it in a bit.
Yeah, no, I just changed it to. Oh, I see. It's in the features section, right? Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't fix it properly. Wanted string or table. Web search equals.
I don't know if you guys saw Codex. They actually shipped a desktop application yesterday. I've been messing around with it. It's really good. But it speaks volumes to how competitive these AI labs are. The Claude desktop app, which came out, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and Claude Cowork and whatnot. It's really interesting how quickly everything just kind of moves in this industry.
Yeah, it's moving fast. I mean, I've basically just switched over back from. I used to use Codex, switched over to Claude again recently. I've been loving it, but now I'm getting a bit of FOMO about not using. I still have Codex, but I've recommended to a lot of people to use Claude Code, and now I'm going. Codex is the best one now. All right, so let's do create a new HCS standard focused on decentralized agents. We will. I do need to have the web search live. Okay, web search live. That's what I need to do.
Well, if it clones the repo, it won't really need to use the web search for that, but it'd probably be helpful for other tasks.
Yeah, for the agent skills spec, I want it. That's what I.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's fine. So web, and I just had the wrong name for it. Live. Let's do that. Okay, let's restart this. Okay, so.
Is there a planning mode for Codex like there is in Claude Code?
Oh yeah, hey look, that's new. Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there you go.
Create a new. I don't know if we need to do a plan for this. I reckon we can just get it to cook because it's just like it's a document basically. We could do a plan, but if we just have it in the background, then we can check back on it in 20 minutes or create a new HDS standard for a decentralized HCS agent skill. See agent. Registry. So the skill should be registered on Hedera Consensus Service.
Yeah, and what I would say is should be based off of HCS2, so like an extension of HCS2. And each record in the topic will probably point to another HCS2 topic, so then you can version the skill out. So when you go to the skill, it's got version 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
And then in that nested architecture, it would use HCS1 to store the actual contents of the skill.
Okay, so HCS2, is that the dynamic?
HCS2 is just registries. So like how do you create a topic where you have different records in it, and how do you update those records? And then HCS1 is how do you store the files on chain. So the cool thing with HCS2 is it's kind of like, like these Merkle trees or like a navigation bar where you can nest it infinitely to create these dynamic relationships.
Okay. And then so how do we want to do reputation? Is there an existing HCS standard that we can build upon?
For reputation, no, but there is, for agent scores, we actually have HCS 25 that's in draft mode right now. We're bringing a lot of organizations into that. And that's kind of like, how do you come up with a score for AI agents? But that's totally different. Okay. So no, we don't have anything for reputation yet. So that's something we'd have to think about for this.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go also create a feature that enables skill reputation in a reliable manner. You have complete creative freedom.
I wonder if it'll think about using HIP 991 for the reputation bit. Like you have to pay to submit a review on the skill or something like that, and they're kind of like interrelated. Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Let's see. Let's give us 3 options. We can. Okay. I'll let this go in the background. Let's now head back over to, and Michael, I've not forgotten about your skill as well. We can jump on that. I do want to first create a skill for the high-risk CLI. This will be really helpful. And actually, we can add it to the Hedera skills repo, which I've created over here, which has skills for creating a Hedera agent kit and HTS system contracts. This is actually a really big one, HTS system contract skills, because they're quite difficult. But basically, you can give your AI agent these, and it will have the ability to code quite well when it comes to the Hedera hybrid EVM and native token service approach.
Is there one like master skill or something that can define all the other skills available and what their functionality is? Like some type of like Hedera skill manager skill?
So that would kind of be, so what we've got here is a marketplace. So what you could do is you can add this to your, let's say you're using Claude Code or you're using the Vercel skill standard. You can basically add the marketplace, and then that will give you context for each individual plugin, which is just a skill. But each skill would be its own manager, essentially. That's the kind of idea.
What I'm saying is, like, if I as the human, I want to go and say like, hey, add full Hedera support, so that my agent has the ability just to do everything on Hedera, whatever is available in all the skills. I, as a human, I don't want to have to go and look at this skill and download this skill and see what this skill does and where's this skill stored. Right? I want to have like a manager skill or like an index, Hedera index skill.
I hear you. Yeah. I
It's like a massive. Yeah, I think. Well, I think we should do that at some point.
Should we try to? We can get it vibe coded in the background.
It reminds me of that Moltbook skill, right? It told you everything, mate. It was like, this is how you create your API key. This is how you interact with all the curl commands. This is, all best practices. It's like that high level master skill or something.
So what one of the skills that I want to build, it's a good time. We can, for those of you who have joined, we can point towards the hackathon as well. I'm going to build a skill for hackathons. So which the idea is it will help. And Ash, you'll love this. The idea is it will basically guide you with one hackathon project ideation, but also making sure that your code is up to scratch. Because obviously a lot of the time hackathon projects, they're sort of can be immediately discarded just because the code is not fully integrated or whatever. But anyway, let's get back to this. I do want to get this skill for the HCLI.
Can we have a skill that instantly gives people feedback on their video submission?
Video submission might be a bit harder, but definitely the project and sort of a deck, could do that.
Mm-hmm. You'd have to use an OCR model to do that.
which is but still a bit easier than video processing videos and. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to go onboard. Yeah. So you see how here it's like this is a plain text JSON file, right? Where your private key lives on. Obviously, I'm not going to put this on. I'm obviously not going to put this on thingy-majiggy. So let's go. I'll do this separately. We'll do.
Look at you using the API like a good boy.
Yes. I mean, also the NVIDIA does overheat a little bit, and I want to keep it in good nick.
We've got 12 inches of snow here, so bring it on over.
Okay, what's this? Bro, I've already done all this stuff. Use existing values. I've just done it, mate. Why are you asking me to? Brother. Oh, man. Okay. What are we doing? Opus 4.5.
So if somebody wanted to point their OpenClaw agent to a Hedera skill, like a front door for a Hedera skill, where would you recommend that they point? What skill should they point to? To like get their OpenClaw agent all on board with Hedera.
To get their open, I mean, I guess that's what we can build now, right? We can try and we can try and build that now. I think that CLI with a good skill, good description on how to actually use it would be a good sort of a good interface using the CLI interface, because it's really native for these coding AI agents that can call the CLI. Now, another option might be an MCP, because obviously we do have a Hedera MCP server.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the comments I've seen online are sort of saying that actually, yeah, for these coding agents, almost MCPs are, wouldn't say dead, but they're not the ultimate. I love MCPs. I use MCPs a lot.
It's just more complicated.
Yeah, and it's like sort of if there is a CLI, it might be a bit more coding agent friendly. Now, that's not. I've really been happy with MCPs recently.
But at the end of the day, you might just need bash and curl though.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
I think part of the problem with MCPs is like, okay, now this thing has to run on your computer. Well, like if you're using a Playwright MCP, let's say you have like 5 Claude terminals up or 5 OpenClaws or whatever. Each of them is probably running an instance of the Playwright MCP, and that's extra compute on your laptop. It's not quite as efficient. It's still just a markdown file.
Right.
Yeah, agreed. So I'm just checking that I've got Opus 4 set up, and I don't want to share my API key because someone will take it, and there'll be like a dodgy guy who takes it and gets me banned.
Sure, dodgy guy.
Probably, yeah.
So what was the HTS precompile skill then? What did that do? Is that just like a best practices to tell your agent how to?
Yeah, that one's for development. That one's for people who want to build using it.
So it's not any code to execute. It's just like, hey, this is maybe code examples and descriptions and stuff like that. Basically like a documentation, but specifically for AI.
Yeah, exactly. It's just documentation because obviously the Hedera HTS system contract is not very well established on AI training data. So often it will hallucinate. Just the Hedera EVM in general, like Hedera has 8 decimals, whereas other EVM chains like Ethereum have 18 decimals. So it's just something which LLMs often miss out.
That was actually one of my arguments for pitching for the focus on AI at Hashgraph back in like January 2024 was that in my experience using LLMs, the Hedera EVM was just different enough, just the smallest of differences that the LLMs just couldn't pick that stuff up for the most part because there's so much out there for like native EVMs.
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
Seems like so long ago, doesn't it? Thinking about January, February 2024. Like Jake, I can remember us talking about agents back then. It seems like that was way too early, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. It was it's progressed a lot. Progressed a lot.
In 2 years. My goodness.
So is this I don't think that's the skill creator. I know Codex has a skill creator which you can do. Well,
no, there's definitely a skill creator. I think it's in the standard Anthropic marketplace. You can download it from there.
I've got plug. Okay, let me.
Because there's multiple skills in that.
Codex also has a skill creator. You just type /skills or something like that.
Yeah. I things I don't on this Spark. I don't have. I've only got Claude set up on here. Skills.
I'll try to find the link for you.
I'm sure that the skill creator. Here we go.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know why it's not Anthropic skills. Let's see if I read me. Okay, yeah, I just don't. I've got a different marketplace. I've got the plugin marketplace, ads marketplace. Let's go.
You're looking for the actual skill name.
Here we go. This will sort it out.
I have not used Cloud Code in a while, but that's super cool.
Okay, if I do. Can you guys hear that noise?
No, not really.
Okay, it's really frustrating me.
We hear your keyboard more than anything, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Do you have a mechanical keyboard?
No, I've actually got a Logitech, one of those ones.
Is that a Blue Yeti microphone? No.
Blue Yeti microphone. enable, update, browse plugins, document skill, example. This is not the right one.
Here, let me see if I can't find the actual name of the skill for you.
It's over here. I can see it, but it's not.
Because you can just run Claude with the name of that skill and it'll install it directly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could just say use the skill creator skill to create a skill, and then that should kind of like
Yeah,
prompt
there's a
it.
command. There's a command line. Here, I'll get it to you in a second, Jake.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It looks like there's a bug here because I did this. Document skills. It's like they've changed the repo a bit or something like that, and they're not updated the README. 2 months ago, skill creator. 3 months ago, move skills into dedicated. I'm sure it must be me.
Yeah, just try Claude space skill dash creator.
Okay, let's give that a go.
Claude skill dash creator. See if that worked.
No.
Then put Claude skills run skill dash creator, but this time it's plural skills. Claude skills run skill dash creator. Skills run, yeah.
No, it's still just running. Yeah, it's not actually.
Okay.
I wonder if. Hang on. There's questions over here. What HCS should we use? What should we give it a number now, Michael?
I guess 26 would be the newest one right now. 25th was the last one, so probably 26.
Oh. How do I do the previous? Oops. Preferred registry topology for skills and versions, global plus per skill, one HCS discovery registry points to one skill. Oh, okay. That makes sense? One global discovery registry pointing to one HCS version registry, which then points towards HCS 1.
See, I'm trying to read the second one and see what it means. Different. So, like one HCS2 registry with every skill version as a record. One global with registry pointing to per skill HCS2. One registry per publisher. Ooh, that's interesting. I guess 1 kind of makes the most sense, but what do you think? 3 is kind of interesting too.
3 is interesting, yeah.
Where you guys?
But I think
I suppose what 1 could be extended to 3 quite easily anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's just do 1. And then how should we present the 3 reputation options? What are the 3 reputation options?
Are these YouTube comments or X comments?
Oh, I can't even. Oh, damn, there's loads of comments. I didn't even realize. I can hear it. Yeah, bro. It's this. I've never heard this sound before. My VS code is.
I just heard it.
Bro, it's driving me crazy.
It might be like an accessibility feature or something that you accidentally put on at some point.
Yeah, maybe. Is it screen reader optimized? Is that? I did this at. It's because I added whisper. I added whisper flow, and then I click some. Okay. Oh wow, that silence is bliss. Oh, I just need to keep writing clear. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. What are we doing? So back over here. Oh, give us 3 options. No, bro, not 3. 3 reputation options, not 3 optional profiles.
Yeah, I'd say none of the above. And then usually it lets you enter like an option of what you mean.
I meant.
Yeah, there you go.
3 options for architectures.
It is crazy how far these harnesses have come, where now it actually asks you and it kind of puts you in that loop. Before it would just go off and do something entirely dumb.
Yeah. It's so much better for that developer experience as well. Okay, so where are we at? So I think I've got. We're trying to get the skill downloaded, man. Yeah. So let me see if I can do it. Oh, come on, bro! It's giving me more questions. I'll specify 26. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
3 reputation architectures. Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Let's go. I'm just going to check if in here. Plugin dev, plugin marketing skills, Hedera agent skills. See, I'm sure I'm just because here it says plugin add anthropic skills. So I did that. I literally did that, and then. I mean, I could just copy and paste it if it keeps.
Or just don't
out.
worry about the skill. I mean, this one should be pretty easy. I bet it just knocks it out without the skill.
Well, it would be good to have it just because that they've obviously have their own sort of.
Whenever you run Claude skill list, do you see it? Do you see the skill creator skill in there?
Skill development. Yeah, look, there is a skill development skill. That must be the one. Skill. Unknown skill.
Go back to your bash command line and type Claude skill list.
And
see if it's listed. Just Claude skill list.
Just seeing what's available first. I'm doing what the AI would do. Yeah, that's not a command.
Oh, it might be dash list.
No, it's not. It just picks skill up as like the first prompt, so that's it. That's why it comes up over here. Fun stream. I hope he's not being sarcastic because he's just watching me trying to. That we got a comment from Tanto DeFi. Fun stream because I'm going. Hopefully it is fun. If it's not, I'm also with you. It's a bit boring right now. This is a. Plugin is a command. I've got loads of skills. Plugin. Okay, I'm just gonna clone it. And is there a repo for skills agents? Let's take a look. Skills. OpenClaw agent skills. OpenClaw.skills. Okay, I'm just going to clone it in here. Just start playing around. Oh no, but then I want it for. I can do it here.
I'm sorry, Jake. It's /skills once you're inside Claude. My bad.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is still it says I've got this agent development skill or skill development skill. But it just doesn't seem to.
Although I think your screen disappeared, by the way.
Oh no! Oh
yeah. Unless it's just me.
No. That's okay. I need to. Let me text in the chat. Oh, is that my fault? Let me share screen again. I think that was my fault. Okay, I need them to. All right. I think they made me admin. I might need to leave and rejoin. So that my admin permissions reset, and then I'll be able to bring my screen back on. Let me do that. Give me a sec. I'm going to refresh the page. I might drop off.
All right.
As I'm doing it.
Finally, we're here. No. Yeah,
This
I'm
is
working
now.
I'm working with my own Claude code instance to try to figure this out. I should have been doing this the whole time.
As we've been doing this, I have Codex on the side building out this skill registry. It's kind of funny, like we're on this live stream and we've got our own instances of Claude, and Codex is building stuff for us.
Yeah.
The world is so different because we used to come on these streams and we would just talk about stuff, right? And they're like, hey, this is the cool thing that we can build. And like maybe 2 weeks later, it'd come back, oh, hey, I built it. Now, like we're on the live stream, we're talking to Codex, and during the live stream, it's like, hey, it's live now. It's on Vercel, and you can go and make an account and you can go interact with this thing. As we've been streaming, earlier, I think we were demoing some of the Maltbook stuff. I actually saw a couple of people in the community register their OpenClaw agent with the Maltbook registry. They're verified now. Like, there's this guy, Fly Compound I, and I see he went through the whole verification flow. I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool. Is it as simple yet as like what it was for Maltbook, where you just point your agent to a skill and run it, and then
exactly. That's exactly it. We have a skill that we put out, and we have a public GitHub that you can access, or you can just go to hl.org/registry/skill.md, and then you give that to your agent, and it just figures out everything itself.
That's so great.
I think we got you back on, Jake. Are you able to
am I back? There we go. Okay, let me share my screen one more time. And then we'll be able to bring it back on. Yeah, I thought I was admin, so I thought I'd be able to leave and rejoin. But I was listening. I was listening in backstage, and I agree. It's pretty awesome that we can just vibe code with such confidence. Okay, yeah, I've got my screen here. If someone can bring that on, that'd be great. Is there any use case? Well, the good thing about OpenClaw is that it does unlock a real wealth of use cases, because you just have so much power at your hands. Oops, shoot. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's gone. Bit of a technical blip, but we will can use it as a bio break for those of you watching.
Jake, can you please add your screen sharing?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Shout out to Louise back there taking care of things.
Saving the day.
That's right.
Saving the day. Was it wider last time? I don't know. Am I tripping?
No, it looks good.
Looks good? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Okay, brilliant. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna get. I think I'm just gonna clone the I'm just gonna clone this skill so that we can do a proper skill creator skill. References. There's not many references. Scripts. There's not many scripts. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna clone this whole repo, and then. Oh, it comes under example skills.
Yeah, example skills. That's right.
So maybe I can do this then. Maybe I can do. Let's try. This is the one that you suggested, isn't it? Plug in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the Anthropic example skills. It's called skill-creator.
Okay, so let me do this. Aha. Install for you, user scope. Let's just restart it just in case. Yes. Hey, there we go. Okay. Wow, that took a bit too long. Right. So let's say create an extensive skill which instructs an agent on how to use the Hyro CLI. The Hyro CLI is available at your service via HCLI. Use -- help to understand the structure and iterate on each of the commands to fully understand its breadth. The skill should also instruct the agent to download the CLI using npm install -g Hyro using that. I mean, to be honest, it'd probably be better if we cloned the repo and did it.
Yeah, that's what I normally tell.
Yeah.
For the folks watching too, like if you're building stuff with AI and you needed to make a pull request or build something like a skill around it, the best thing to do is just tell it to clone the repo so it can actually access the code.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think we'll still do a pretty good job over here. We'll be able to see it sort of reasoning. Let's say yes and don't ask for. Okay, do you know what I'm going to just do? It's going to ask you for loads of stuff. So I'm going to actually say, I'm going to do it in. Also, I generally don't recommend doing this unless you've got a containerized environment. But use dangerously skip permissions. Dangerously.
Don't do this at home, guys.
Don't do this at home. This is only for yes, I accept. I mean, it's basically what OpenClaw does. Ash.
Yes.
Plug skill creator. Boom.
Yep.
Now, yeah. That it's a really good point. What Michael just raised, especially with open source stuff, cloning a repo and just getting your agent to interrogate it, ask about the architecture, is really helpful. I actually did it with OpenClaw because OpenClaw's got quite a complex architecture in that there are. I mean, you've got like WebSockets. You've got this. I think it's called the OpenClaw. What is it called? It's not just it's a pretty extensive piece of software. They've changed the docs. That's nice. Let's take a look at the remote gateway setup. The gateway. That's what I was thinking. That they've got this like gateway which routes all of the messages, whether it's from Telegram or Signal or whatever. So it's pretty broad. It does quite a lot of stuff. There's a web app, and I was able to just quickly understand actually what's relevant, what's not, how to use the CLI just after cloning the repo and starting sort of interrogating with it. And then when you're doing PRs, you can also do when doing PRs, you can also use the GitHub CLI to actually create PRs and manage it all. Through there, or alternatively the GitHub MCP. But yeah, so here we go. We see it's done all of the HCLI help, HCLI account help, HCLI token help, HCLI network help. It's done all of got all of the configs for each bit.
Cool.
And now it's writing. Bro, it's gone again.
Yeah.
We've got rid of that sound. Now.
Ramin says, "Can you share again?"
Yeah, can you make me admin, bro?
I told you need to tip the backstage guys better.
Yeah. They're doing it. Do you reckon they're doing it themselves? They want an HBAR tip. Give us your test. Give us your testnet address, Vidamine. We'll get OpenClaw to send you some HBAR.
Let's set up an X402 endpoint.
It's got perfect liquidity, that testnet HBAR.
Here we go. Boom. So we've got it. So skill location. Hiro skill package. What is that? Package skill. Oh, it's a binary. What? Why has they done that?
I thought package skill was. I thought that was what a plugin was. Oh, you know, when you download and install a plugin, that can be skills. It could be an MCP server. It could be a whole bunch of things.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, so look, I've got the skill over here. We
Let's
could
just try to
we could switch
install
back
it and see if we
to
can't.
so if we copy and paste it over to our Hiro skill, if we copy and paste that over to our OpenClaw setup, it should be picked up. And if we now go to OpenClaw terminal user interface. I love the terminal user interface. It's just so much better than a chatbot. So what skills do you have? Let's see if it has that context.
Let's see.
Blue Bubbles, Claude Hub, Skill Creator, Hiro skill, Hiro CLI. There we go.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah. Interesting. So it comes up. So it can actually spawn Claude code. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Claw can spawn Claw code. No, I didn't know that.
Well, Claude already has like sub-agent functionality, and Codex has been building it behind the scenes as well. I think all harnesses will have that capability. OpenCode is one of my favorite harnesses right now, actually. OpenCode is nice because it has sub-agents built in, but also it's more security conscious as a whole. So it'll try to access files like your .env files, and it'll say like, hey, do you give me permission to do that? Which I like a lot. Yeah.
That I've not actually tried it, but I have heard good things about it. I guess where I was getting at was I assume that if OpenClaw was to do coding, it would actually just do it itself. But it's good to see that it actually outsources it to Claude Code. Because to be honest, one of the key things that I was thinking of using Claude Code for, OpenClaw for, was to just as like an ideas board, right? Just on Telegram, if I have a crazy idea, okay, OpenClaw, do some research on it, create a software architecture, and then just have it posted in like in a README somewhere, or in a markdown file somewhere, and then just have it as like an evolving sort of idea board to put stuff on. I was also thinking it'd be cool to use one of these small OCR models on Hugging Face. This one here, DeepSeek OCR 2, just came out, which is what? It's a 3 billion parameter model, and using it to just send photos of your receipts to, analyzing your spending. Ash, you might need to do that. Make sure your spending's in check now.
Yeah, got to pare back these days.
And then just having like AI tell you, okay, what are you spending most on? And where's, because I'm in Malaysia, right? And we're always trying new supermarkets. I've got no idea which one's cheaper. I'm always there like, which one's or better value for money is.
I might need to move back to Thailand.
You might, yeah.
Be your
Nice
neighbor.
that. You'd be near to me, bro. We can then do this at a reasonable time. Look at that, 2:34.
Like a 1 hour flight.
Guys, 2:34 for me. You guys, this is for the gang.
Right, that's the hustle. That's the real hustle right there.
That's the hustle.
Right.
That's the hustle. Oh, there's a bit of test.
Ooh.
Can you guys hear that?
Yes, a little feedback. Everybody go on mute real quick. Test. All right, I don't think it's me.
Test. It's Michael.
It's Michael. You gotta go on mute, Michael. Mute this guy. Michael turned into an agent live on stream.
That's it. Michael is an agent. He is an agent.
I have my bets.
You got to stay on mute, Michael. All right. Well, we lost Michael.
Okay, Michael, maybe feel free to leave and rejoin if you want, or we can have a representative agent for Michael.
Sure.
If you give me your OpenClaw Telegram link, we can chat to him there. Right. So what should we do here? So we've got this skill for the Hedera Hyro CLI. Should we just try and orchestrate like a long running process, and sort of see what, like, maybe say create a token, create an account, transfer some of that account to that token, try something like that?
Yeah. We should create an account first and just get it set up, and I'll transfer it some testnet HBAR so it has some to play with, so that we don't have to set up and like go to the faucet and all that.
Yeah, I've already hooked up my bro, it's done it again. Why does it keep going off?
This is our most unhinged Hashgraph Hustlers so far. By the way.
It's just gone off again.
Yeah, I see that. And now we just lost Jake. Hey, now it's the Ashwara show. It's got a good ring to it.
It does actually have quite a good ring to it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I think we're all back. We're rusty. We had for those of you who are still here, we had a sync at the beginning of the year on how to make Hashgraph Hustlers the best it's ever been.
Yeah.
And we had some great ideas, and I think that there's been glimpses, but of course,
and Ash becomes a community member and things just fall apart.
Yeah. I think
unreal.
That's it. But we've got Surrey, Bonfil, so much to learn. There's a lot to learn, bro. There's a lot to learn. The hackathon QR code over here is the best opportunity to
have the tracks been defined for the hackathon.
Yeah, we've got so it's sort of standard stuff really. We've got AI track, we've got a DeFi and tokenization track, we've got a sustainability track, we've got a sustainability track, we've got a legacy builder track, and then we've got our partnership bounties like the Hashgraph Online partner bounty, which will be focused on using the registry broker in the AI stuff. We've got a bounty with NAN for low code, no code builders.
Okay.
We're partnering with NAN on that. So yeah, best use of the Hedera NAN node. We've got a bounty with AWS. So we're doing a bounty on HSM signing using the HSM private, using the AWS private key management solution to do sort of enterprise grade transaction signing. We have, that should be a good one. We've got a workshops for all of these. We have one with Neuron on Deepin and Hyro one. There's lots of stuff. All of this will be communicated in the next few days.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. So, okay, let's first just create an account. Create a new account. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already got a operator account set up here, so it should just be able to pick that up and use it. Let me check the current network setup first. Testnet is active with an operator configured. Perfect. Yeah. Creating a new one now. Amazing. So it's created it. It's topped it up with 10 HBAR already. So let's just do, okay, create, transfer, and create a new token. New token, call it whatever you want. Mint it with some supply, then transfer 5 of that token to the new account. Now, I think where this would get really powerful is if there were plugins into the Hyro CLI, which there is a plugin architecture actually, so you can create plugins over here. Hyro CLI is built on a plugin architecture. By default, these are automatically created. You can create your own plugins, and what those plugins do well, the plugin can be anything you want. It could be a source swap plugin or a Bonzo plugin or a Hashgraph Online registry broker plugin. And essentially, that would really, I think, sort of open up a new range of possibilities, because you could basically have this crazy agent which has the ability to do a lot of cool stuff. Oh, it's come back.
Yeah, so like we could create a plugin for CLI.
Michael,
And then
your audio is whack again. All right.
testing 1, 2, 3.
It's still whack. All right.
Dust token. Had to create a fresh. That's strange. Cosmic dust. That's cool. Mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
Better now. Yeah, better now.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like it's done a pretty good thing. Now, okay. Another idea which I did have, and we'll go over to the Hashgraph Online registry broker and try out that skill. But yeah, another thing which I was thinking actually is that and I might have this running in the background to be honest, is we can take a look at the Hedera agent kit, and the Hedera agent kit also has a plugin architecture. We've currently got wow, that's amazing. We've got loads of really cool third-party plugins now. So we could do things like a meme job plugin. I think what we could do, I might just get this up and running in the background, is clone this repo and then get it also to be created as a skill. Let me do this. Meme job dash plugin. And then if I go Claude, dangerously skip permissions, skill creator, create a skill with scripts that execute the tools in this Hedera agent kit plugin that we can use to create tokens, etc. And well, if this works,
You're not showing your screen, Jake.
bro,
We might have to go back to the drawing board.
let me just the code screen without you. Yeah, it just automatically disconnects. I'm definitely not doing it on purpose.
Somehow we have bear market vibes in our production today as well.
Yeah, we need to. I think if I get admin again, it would be much easier. But sorry, what I did was I just cloned the Hedera agent kit meme job plugin, and I've just cloned the repo, and now I've used the skill creator skill to create a skill that has scripts, which was one of the things on the skill spec. If we go back to agent skills, we can see that it can also take these scripts, and the scripts are executable code that an agent can run. Common options include Python. So the agent can just run node script. And yeah, it should have all of the logic hopefully inside of, well, we'll see how it does it. We can go back to it at the end. We've also got the implement. Here we go. It's come up with a plan. Well, let's. What should we do, Michael? Should we go over to the HOL registry broker and try do your skill, or should we take a look at this HCS proposal?
Guys, I'm gonna need to drop before it starts snowing again. I gotta go to the grocery store, unfortunately. We've had the craziest winter here, by the way. 12 inches of snow outside. I shoveled the driveway yesterday, feeling strong.
Dang, shovel it nice.
That's right. Hey, Jake,
can you not? You can't wait. I'm going to drop off in 15 minutes because
okay. 15? Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely wrap up in 15. I think, yeah, Michael, I'll let you choose. Should we head over to the HRL skill and try it out, see if it works?
Yeah, so I mean, let's try that. I'd be curious to see what happens. I know somebody else registered their notebook agent live while we were doing this, so I suspect yours will be able
Oh,
to
amazing.
do it as well. So I sent you a
Okay.
link to the page that has all the
Yeah.
info. Generally, you can just give it the link to the skill, and you should be able to tell it. You'll have to be talking to OpenClaw. So you tell OpenClaw, hey, I want you to verify your identity in the registry broker.
Okay, let's go for this. So we've got OpenClaw. Let's create a new one. But it did a good job with the Hedera CLI. So yeah, I think, Ash, we can definitely tell Greg to get this skill set up.
Yeah,
And
I told him
that.
I just need to link him to the skill.
Okay, sweet. So what should we do? So load this skill, and then what after that, Michael? Should we say
verify your identity? Is your OpenClaw agent set up on Notebook actually?
No.
Okay, so first thing that you're gonna have to do is have your agent get set up on Notebook, and then you can verify your identity with the broker.
Do you mind if we do you want to share? I don't really want to. I'm pretty anti Notebook because. All
right, well, maybe we should jump to the HCS spec in that case, since you've already got it open.
Okay.
Let's see what it kind of cooked up here. So decentralized agent skills registry. Well, this is the plan for it. It didn't actually build it out. Let's see what it cooked up for the plan.
Yeah. We can do. Yeah, let's do that before. This is just the plan. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make it easier on the eyes. Using HCS2 version skill, referencing HCS1, add a section that presents 3 alternative reputation architectures. So we have, topic types.
Oh, your thing disappeared again.
Oh my God. Why is it so buggy? All right, I'm sharing my screen again. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. So this is the topic types, topic memo format.
Yeah. Let's see
what you think over here.
What it's saying is there's going to be 2 different topic types. So one of them, so that just means a nested structure, right? So it's saying that there is a global one where you can find all of the skills, and it's using topic type of 0 because we use enums. And then it's saying to use 1 for each version skill. So like the Hyro CLI skill that you just made, it's saying that would be a different topic type. So it would be 2 HCS topics here, one for that big global registry and another one for the versions itself.
Yeah.
And then it gave the memo format. I think just looking at this, it's pretty good. The skill ID thing is one thing that I would probably question is like, how would we enforce the skill IDs? I think I would maybe say that the sequence number on the topic is your skill ID, right? Because they're always fairly ordered.
Yeah.
And then you don't really need you could still have like a title and a name, but that's kind of like metadata. So I think that's the main thing that I would probably change around that implementation that it's come up with. Otherwise, this looks pretty good and on par with how I would kind of approach this if I was to create it from my side. What do you think?
I think it looks good. I think it makes sense. So skill ID is this the skill ID, the topic memo, or is that a separate thing?
No, the topic memo is a separate thing. We use
That's a
topic
separate thing.
memos with these specifications. So when anyone is looking at the topic on chain, they can immediately figure out, it's like, okay, this is the specification this topic is about. And then these are like the metadata things around it. So if it's 0, you know, it's the global registry. If it's 1,
Yeah.
you know, that's a specific skill that you're looking at. So it just gives you
Right.
additional context that you can easily kind of look up.
I guess the only thing that I think maybe it's not captured is that actually a skill is a folder, rather than a file in and of itself. Are folders possible with HCS1?
So the way that I think you would do is the folder is, we probably need one more layer here, because right now there's only 2. You have the global and then you have the skill version. But probably each thing in the topic of type 1 probably also needs to be a registry. And that's how you would do it, right? I think each record in that folder would be like, okay, you'd have a 0, 1, that's your skill MD file. And then you have the reference files and all those things. So I would tell Codex, like, this is very close, but here's a few things that we need to change.
Okay, let's go. Few things to change. So 1 is the skill ID can just be what, the running hash or the
Well, I would say the skill ID isn't native because every message has a sequence number and it's already unique. But you can still have a title for the skill, and that could be metadata or something like that.
Yeah.
But we have to keep in mind that every message has to be under 1 kilobyte. So you just have to be careful there.
Yeah.
Michael, in your opinion, what's the value of having these skills saved on the consensus service versus having these skills saved in GitHub?
I think the few things, right? Like with GitHub, somebody could still get your credentials and do malicious things. Like that still happens all the time. And most people, they will look at the latest version of what's on the GitHub. They'll download the package. Over the last year, we've seen several supply chain attacks happen, you know, exploiting people's keys through social engineering.
Is that not the
and things like
same
that.
for the consensus service, though? Somebody could get your keys and post to the consensus service, and somebody would just assume that the most recent post is the correct one. It seems like the exact same attack vector, isn't it not?
I think it depends how it's governed, right? Like we have multi-sig, you have trusted authorities that run these things and so forth. Like the Hashgraph Online registry for agents, it depends how that submit key for the topic is governed and controlled, but there is some risk there. What you can do and what you should do with all these things is use a specific version of the thing rather than like the newest version. But it's a really good point that you've raised.
There's multi-sig approaches to signing off on new releases on GitHub too, right? It's not a DAO as we know a DAO, but there's still going to be a multi-sig, multi-reviewer type of sign-off, isn't there?
Yeah, so what open source will typically do is when you merge stuff in, multiple people have to approve it. And that's like your equivalent of signing off on a transaction where you have these specific people who are
bro, I know. Jake, your screen, yeah, and why? I'm trying to figure out why it does that. Okay, I've just Fedmin. There we go. Thanks, man. That's fine. Michael, I think you slightly cut off as well. What?
Oh, I was saying, so what most open source projects would do is you need like X amount of reviewers to sign off on these things. I think my fear though is with AI and the risks around AI and people just automating things, that things will just start coming through the cracks, especially in the open source ecosystems. The other problem that sometimes, ideal best case is you get 2 or 3 people who review things. The reality though on open source is usually just one person, right? And with time constraints, you kind of just move forward on that. So there's still all these risk factors around how you manage this stuff. I think the other aspect about having a registry too, versus just like a GitHub, a decentralized registry, is when you think about what is a registry, it's a thing that has all this information that you can look up and search, but it's also a thing that's replicated across the planet on all these different nodes, right? And they all have to agree on the state at any given moment. And then you can compare the running hash to know like this is the version at that time, versus the risks where in GitHub, somebody gets root access to your GitHub and they do a force commit. They can actually literally rewrite the entire history. And then you lose those versions entirely. You can't do that on a DLT, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so actually there was an issue related to OpenClaw just the other day where they were originally called Clawdbot, CLAWD. And they obviously got asked by Anthropic to change it, which they did. But they made the rookie mistake, but a pretty reasonable mistake, to change the GitHub handle, but without keeping the existing one, the existing Clawdbot as occupied. And obviously someone, I think within like 0.3 seconds, stole it, because once you change once you change a GitHub repo org name, it's available for anyone. Someone then stole the old one and was able to scam some people. So there's definitely a reduced surface area of attack, I think. Michael, here we've got a couple of questions and answers. So a couple of questions, sorry. I quite like the single bundle file. I think that's where if the actual it's just a zip file as an HCS1 file.
I guess the problem with that is then you have to download it all. If each file is represented separately, then you can view it on the CDN without having to download it. So I would say, manifest was, each file is an HCS1. That maps. Oh yeah, I like that one quite a bit, using the skill.json.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we've got, do you want to send us a message asking for yes, standardized, yeah. Yeah,
of course, always.
Cool. Let's do that. Coolio. So we'll let this cook. I think we're probably going to have to run out on time, but definitely there's a lot that we can do with OpenClaw.
Well, somebody asked in the chat, what makes Clawdbot different? Just for clarity, it's OpenClaw now.
Yeah, what makes it different?
I think it's the flexibility that you have to like connect to your own services, or connect to Telegram, or to connect to Slack, or to connect to WhatsApp, or it just comes out of the box with a bunch of these connections. And there's a very active community too, submitting PRs and updating the code. I mean, this is it's risk and reward though. This is very rapidly in development right now, which means it's going to have a lot of new features, but probably more bugs. I mean, I have to restart my gateway at least a couple times a day, or maybe.
Oh, really?
Maybe my agent just stops replying on Telegram for some reason. I got to go, kick off the process again. But it's all open source. I think that's the big thing. It's all open source, and where you can get a lot of the functionality that you would get in Clawdbot or in OpenClaw, you can get quite a bit of that functionality just with like Claude Code or Claude Desktop or whatever it's called. But the open source nature is really driving a community attraction to the project.
I think the biggest thing the open source response is massive, but the biggest thing to me is that the first time it's a fully viable agent that anybody can run with very limited experience. It's basically autonomous and creates its own actions. And the genius and simplicity of OpenClaw is that it's using these cron jobs to kind of like reactivate itself over the day, so it can take actions and schedule things and do stuff like that. with most harnesses and agents, you have to be a human that's in the middle of it all the time. You kind of have to come back to it. With OpenClaw, it's something that just kind of lives and embodies itself.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's the fact that it's just like persistent. It's got this runtime. I have just tried sharing my screen again. If someone could bring it on, because I'm just testing. Yeah, thank you. But what I think is really powerful about it is one, just the amount of access it has. It's literally got complete rights over your computer, which is why it's so dangerous, but it's why it's so powerful. And then the ways that you can interface with it, it's like it's on 24/7. You can send a text to it via Telegram. It can integrate into your Google Docs and all of these, and that the ecosystem is only going to be getting bigger. So I think it would be a very powerful tool when used. Well, with great power comes great responsibility. So when used responsibly, I think this could be a real sort of level up. I'm going to quickly try and see to create a token. I'm going to see if it can use this Hedera create token, create a skill to create a token. It's probably going to fail because it's depending on some stuff over here. No, not using the hierarchy. Whatever. We'll do this another time. It's getting pretty late. It's 3 a.m. for me.
Thanks for
Right.
staying up.
Yeah. I do. I really appreciate. We've had some really nice comments in. I know there's maybe been a few technical difficulties. It's the first Hashgraph Hustlers back. But yeah, appreciate you. Grazie. Thanks, guys. This has been a pleasure to listen to. Is there a fee for using it? No. Clawdbot is OpenClaw is completely free. It's open source. So you'll obviously have to pay for the large language models. And backstage, could we maybe zoom in on our faces so we're not? I've just stopped sharing my screen. There's no fee for using it. It's completely free, but of course you have to pay for the LLM inference. That's an important point to reference.
Shout out a couple people in the audience here. Tony, thanks for being so active. Kanto DeFi, Grassist. Let's see who else we got today. Small crowd today. Bear market vibes today. Nicholas G. Appreciate all y'all coming out, and we'll have to check out next time.
Yeah. Next one we'll have the
we'll have our ducks in a row. We'll not only feed the ducks, we'll line the ducks up. How about that, Jake?
For sure. All right, guys. Don't forget Hackathon, Hashgraph Online bounty, all of the bounties, sign up. Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.